welcome back everyone to the video series dedicated show on Paramount Plus that just might try to sabotage you. That's right, we're talking about The Challenge All-Stars episode 5. Now, we got a lot to go over in this episode, so let's start off where last episode left off, and that was everybody coming back to the challenge house after Arissa called the whole house out and peaced out as she walked away. And coming back to the challenge house, everyone is thinking like, this is it. The gloves are off and be ready for anything. Because what happened last week with Arissa just shows that anything could happen and nobody is safe at any given point. So everyone has to be on high alert. Later on that night, we get a nice moment between Beth and Cyrus, and we get a little bit more into Cyrus's background of what he does outside of the challenge house. And then the next morning, Derek is trying to climb the column outside the front door, which leads to Alton trying to climb the column outside the front door. And to me, early on in this episode, my brain is thinking, okay, we just got a good amount of Cyrus and Alton, more so than we got in the past couple of episodes, meaning I think that something is going to happen between the two of them. I feel as though that possibly they could be going into the elimination against each other, but that's just something I noticed on early on in this episode. You know who else is taking notice of Alton, and that is Jisela, who is taking a notice of him going like, dang, he is fine. Next up, we have everybody getting up their gear, heading off to the woods to meet up with TJ for this week's daily challenge called Connect Them All. And this daily challenge, right off the bat, TJ announces that it is like a mini final. In this daily challenge, everyone is going to be grouped up into 3 teams of 6, and as they progress and go through the checkpoints of this long daily challenge, the group will get divided into more and more pieces until the very end, where the final leg of this race is going to be individual. Now, it is a men's elimination day, so the first man to cross the finish line will win safety, whereas there's no lifesaver. And to me, instantly, my ears perk up thinking like, why isn't there a lifesaver? TJ says there's no more lifesavers in the game, and this leg isn't being played for money. So my first thought process was that, why do the women need to even compete if they don't have really anything to go for? And that's where Jemmy points out that TJ is being very vague in his wording of this daily challenge and the twist of no lifesaver, meaning everyone's gonna have to compete and everybody wants to win / not get in last place, because the last man to cross that finish line will automatically be sent into the elimination this episode. So we have 3 teams of 6, and the copper team is Big Easy, Katie, Ruthie, Darrell, Anissa, and Mark. The gold team is made up of Kendall, Derek, Jisela, Latyrian, Kellyanne, and Nehemiah, and the silver team is made up of Cyrus, Yes, Jemmy, John A, Beth, and Alton. And coming into this daily challenge, Cyrus talks about how he messed up his ankle, he's coming in with it injured, and he's gonna give it all he has, but he's at a physical disadvantage. Now TJ blows that horn, everyone is off to checkpoint 1, and in checkpoint 1, it is a puzzle, but it also has to deal with math, where they have to figure out a math problem to figure out a number, and then use that number to figure out the letter that goes into the proper place in the phrase. Once you come up with your full phrase, then you will be heading off to get a log and carry it up to the next checkpoint. Big Easy crushes this portion of this daily challenge for his team. The copper team is the first team done, running over, grabbing the log, and heading out to checkpoint 2. Now the gold team is also really quickly to finish up their puzzle, but they are a few steps behind them as they are coming in second place as of right now, heading into checkpoint 2, and the silver team is really struggling, but they finally get it, but they are definitely in third place, and they need to make up some time on this walk with this log. On the log carry portion, we have multiple people on the copper team really struggling, but they go at a very consistent pace to where they don't really stop, or it doesn't show them stopping at all, so they just keep on trucking through. Whereas on the gold team, Jisela is having a lot of trouble on this walk, and she needs to take some breaks. Then the silver team, Alton is having a breakdown here as he is yelling for a break. He is yelling for it. He is on the ground, he is huffing and puffing. Cyrus is thinking that he is trying to sabotage their team. Why else would Alton be having this much trouble carrying a log and walking uphill. This man is an Adonis, and he is in top physical shape, almost probably in the best shape out of everyone here, yet he is really struggling. Now, on the aftermath, everyone is talking about how Alton talked about how his shoes were too small, and that was the major culprit of why he was struggling so much. It seemed like he was like dehydrated at one point, but maybe his shoes were too small, I don't know. But everyone was able to finally get their head on straight, get their log going, and walk to the checkpoint 2. The copper team is the first team to get there, and they read the board. In checkpoint 2, they're going to have to split off in teams of 2, and they're going to have to replicate the pattern of the giant legend of all these colorful challenge logos. Now, this is rather difficult as there are so many colors that are so close to one another, but also there's multiple colors within the color. So like the background color could be one color, and then the inside letters of saying the challenge can be a whole different color. And also when I was looking at the pattern, you could have like multiple greens with different colors on the inside. So I saw one green had yellow wording where the other green had like red wording. So you're having to like see all these different colors, trying to keep it all intact, and this board is ginormous. Let's go over the teams of 2 that are working together. We have Mark and Ruthie, Big Easy and Katie, Darrell and Anissa, Kendall and Latyrian, Derek and Kellyanne, Nehemiah and Jisela, Yes and Jemmy, John A and Alton, and Cyrus and Beth. Now everyone is doing their puzzles. They're having a difficult time. They're asking for multiple checks. That is up until Latyrian and Kendall ask for a check, and they are the first teams to get a thumbs up. They run over to the board and they read that they have to grab a log individually, as this is now an individual race, and they have to pick up their log and head down to the finish line. So now this is a mad dash sprint. So Kendall and Latyrian grab their logs and they are out. And then the second team to finish was Derek and Kellyanne, and they are heading out. Those 2 teams are way out in front, and now everyone is just trying to figure out their puzzle to not get last place. Teams are figuring out this puzzle. They're filing out 1 by 1, 2 by 2, until there's 2 teams left at their boards, and it's Big Easy and Katie and Cyrus and Beth. Now, Beth and Cyrus are having a difficult time on this board, especially because in the aftermath, Beth said that Cyrus finally confessed to her that he is colorblind. This is not Cyrus's daily challenge. This was everything going against him with his hurt ankle and how much running and walking they had to do, along with now a puzzle that deals mainly in colors and figuring out the colors, and he is colorblind. Big Easy and Katie are the last 2 to get their logs and head out, and Cyrus and Beth don't even finish this. They come in dead last. Latyrian finishes first, winning safety, and then Derek finishes second, and then Kendall finishes 3rd overall, but she's the first woman to finish, so it's Latyrian and Kendall winning the top 2 spots, and Cyrus going straight into the elimination. So everyone is having to go back to the house. Then they're going to be going to the deliberation to figure out who they're going to send in to the elimination to go up against Cyrus. Now Cyrus goes to the backyard. He is icing his ankle, and Alton comes down and is like asking him who he would like to go up against in the elimination, and Cyrus goes, "It's probably going to be me and you." And Alton is confused by this. Why would he want to go up against Alton? Well, Cyrus says that he thinks that he was trying to sabotage Cyrus, and he took it personally, and he wants to go up against Alton. And Alton is thinking, why not Big Easy? You can go up against him, you could probably win even with a hurt ankle. They agree to disagree, and then Cyrus is talking to Beth and Mark, and Cyrus is like, I want Alton. Make sure he's the one being voted in. And Mark says, I got your back. They go to the deliberation, and in the deliberation, Mark takes control of the stage and goes, look, Cyrus told me that he wants to go up against Alton. I'll vote him. Then Alton takes the stage and he's like, look, I understand that he was frustrated with me on the log carry, but that was only one checkpoint. There was other checkpoints that he could have made up time. And to me, I think it's unfair that he's blaming this loss on me. I think that we should go with the hierarchy of how everyone finished in the challenge, and Cyrus got last place, and the second to last place was Big Easy. I think we should send him in, and there's no clear majority, which is funny because in the aftermath, Derek was saying how he wanted to volunteer himself to go into the elimination. He thought that Cyrus is injured, I could probably win against him. I'll just throw myself in and we don't have to worry about who's gonna be going in, the vote, let's just send me in. But everyone was like, shut up, Derek, nobody's gonna send you in. We wanna send in who we wanna send in. So it comes down to a vote, and the votes come down to 8-3-1-1, where 8 votes for Alton, 3 votes for Big Easy, 1 vote for Nehemiah, and 1 vote for Derek. Nehemiah and Derek burned their votes on each other. And so Alton is going to be going into the elimination against Cyrus, and coming back to the challenge house, that's when Alton is up in front with his arm around Jisela, and they're walking into the house, and he goes, Cyrus, you and me are going into elimination against each other. Cyrus then tries to like stand up and shake Alton's hand, and Alton just walks right past him, snubbing Cyrus, and Cyrus is like, all right, if that's the way it's gonna be, let's do it. We head out to the bar area where we have Mark and Cyrus talking to one another, and Cyrus says that he's not afraid of anybody. He doesn't care if he's going up against Alton. He felt disrespected. He felt like it was a personal attack, and he wants to go up against Alton and show him the business. Mark is thinking like, if Cyrus can pull this off, he takes out a huge threat in this game in Alton, and Mark is 100% going for Cyrus to win this elimination. We move on to Alton, who is getting very close with Jisela at the bar, and then we move back to the challenge house, and they get even closer, getting in the same bed with each other, and they snuggle up with each other and possibly do more things. In the confessional, Alton pleads the fifth. The next morning, that's when we see Laterian giving Cyrus a pep talk. Alton is talking to Derek, saying that, look, once I come back into this game and I win against Cyrus, I'm going to be stirring the pot, and I'm going to be showing a whole new side of Alton that nobody has seen in this game just yet. Then we move on to the elimination, where everyone's filing in, and they see the same setup from last elimination, the same elimination, wall ball. Once everyone is up on the stage, that's when TJ announces for Alton and Cyrus to join him on the arena floor. And then TJ has a huge twistity twist for everyone, as he said that, hey, remember when I said there was no lifesavers? Well, here's another thing that's going to be changing in the game. Every elimination from here on out is going to be a double elimination. So Beth, because you came in last place with Cyrus, you're going to be playing in this elimination game tonight, and you're going to be Cyrus's partner. Then he turns it over to Alton, saying like, look, Alton, you're going to need a partner for this elimination, and so pick wisely. And you can't pick Kendall because she also won safety. Alton is looking up into the stands. He knows that whoever he picks, he's gonna put their game in jeopardy and their chances of winning $500,000 on the line. He decides to go with Anissa because she is the elimination queen. She's been in so many eliminations. She still does the challenge, main seasons. Why not bring her in? So she comes down and joins Alton, which I'm very surprised to see that they gave Alton the choice since he was voted in by the house. I thought they were gonna actually have the house vote in who they want to be Alton's partner. I don't know. I thought that was going to be the case, but they decided to let Alton have the power even though he was thrown in or voted in by the house. Anyways, this is the game where they're going to be playing over and under, which is exactly the same rules as wall ball from last episode, but instead there's going to be another partner added to the mix where what you're going to have to do is one partner is going to be on the ground breaking through the doors. The other partner is going to have to jump over the walls. And at every wall, the one partner on the ground is going to have to throw the ball up to the partner that climbs on the wall. And then the partner on the wall will have to throw it back down to the player on the floor. And they're going to have to do this 5 times. The first team to 5 wins this elimination. Now, is it to anybody's surprise that Alton and Anissa win this elimination? I'm not gonna go too in depth with this because this was a huge blowout. Not just because this is an elimination that deals with something that has to do with climbing, which Alton is a professional at, but also Cyrus has a bum ankle. Like, Cyrus had to go up and over the wall over and over again. At a certain point, he couldn't even make it up over the wall, and he was trying to like climb on Beth's back and like stand on her back to get over the wall. This was no contest. Anissa and Alton were in the zone. Alton was just hopping over those walls like it was nothing, like he does this every single Sunday. And Cyrus and Beth are eliminated from the game. And even TJ was like, hey, we're gonna see you soon. So I don't even know what that's gonna mean. I'm thinking that if it's gonna be a season 2 for All Stars, they're gonna be coming back into the challenge game. They both did a great job. I just wish that Cyrus didn't get hurt and that this wasn't the elimination that he was going to go up against Alton in, because Alton absolutely crushed it. The same with Anissa. They destroyed it, and they're going to join back up with the house with the chances of winning $500,000 still up for grabs. We also, at the end of this episode, get a mid-season trailer that I will be doing a shot-for-shot breakdown in Tiny Table Talk this week. But that is it for this episode. What'd you think about this Challenge All-Stars episode? Let me know that in the comment section below. What did you think about the daily challenge? What did you think about the elimination? What did you think about the twist of now no more lifesavers and Alton gets to pick his elimination partner? It was a double elimination. What did you think about everything that happened in this episode? And are you sad to see Beth and Cyrus leave this game? And what do you think about Alton and Jisela doing the hippity dippity? Let me know that in the comment section below. But thank you so much for watching. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be back really soon with more Challenge All-Star content, more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.